guys, it's Kaitlynxmarrie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new and I'm here with another YouTube video. So one today is clearly the most anticipated ranking every 2022 horror movie that I've watched. Well, last year, because that's another year. It was supposed to come last week, didn't have the thing. There's some movies I wanted to watch before. I really wanted to get the Mean one out. Like, I wanted to watch it one because I wanted it to be on this list so bad, but I wasn't able to find it anywhere. Like, I was literally about to, like, buy a movie, but it's not even, like, up to stream, like, to buy. But, yeah, so, social medias are right here, and let's just get started. So, I'm gonna do what I did last time, except this time, I'm gonna put, like, what I gave it, like, out of, like, stars, because, like, a lot of times, I wouldn't know. Like, if I like movies with my sixes, I'd be like, oh, I don't know what I liked more. And then I look at, like, my stars, like, what I gave it, and that's when I'm usually able to tell. But, yeah, so let's just get started. The first movie that we have is Men, and that is a 1 out of 10 with half of 1 star out of 5. I didn't like it. It was just stupid. It was too artsy-fartsy for me. It was really slow. I do think it was cool that, like, all, like, the men in this movie was played by one person. I guess I get what they were trying to do. It just was way too weird for me, especially, like, the end and, like, the whole, like, rebirthing scenes or whatever. Like, those is just, if it wasn't an A24 movie, I wouldn't have watched it because I want to try and make, like, a video on those movies. But I really just wanted to end it. But yeah, it just wasn't good. And then we have Slayers. This movie was really bad. I knew it was going to be bad because it was like a comedy, but I didn't think it'd be as bad as it was. Has the same ranking as Men. It was just so dumb, and, like, I felt like I was watching, like the CGI and stuff felt really bad. Like, you wouldn't have guessed it was made in 2022 because it felt like an old movie because of how bad the CGI was. And then it was doing, like, onomatopoeias, like, with, like, it was, like, boom, ka-chow, like, stuff like that. And it was just so stupid. I didn't like it. And, like, the whole, I guess, like, the whole, like, plot was interesting. It was about, like, these, like, social media people. And then get to go to, like, this house. And then, like, I guess it's a vampire. And so, like, then we have, like, a vampire hunter. So it seemed interesting. And I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. It took me, like, 3 days to watch. I couldn't finish it. It was just really, I did finish it, but it was very hard. It was just so boring. But yeah, so now we're on all of my sixes. First movie that we have is Emma, or Uma, I think it's Emma. This one was okay. It's on Netflix. For some reason, I just didn't like it. It was very boring, very slow, not a lot of horror in it. I kind of, like, was trying, like, to not fall asleep at times. It has, I think her name is, like, Christina O, and she plays, it's not Christina O, it's Sandra O, but she plays Christina in Grey's Anatomy. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. The whole, like, folklore was, like, interesting. But, like, other than that, it just wasn't the type of movie I liked. And that was a 1 out of 5 stars. And then we have Beast. It wasn't good at all. It was more just stupid. I didn't like the characters. I really thought it would be cool because while I'm, like, trying to escape Alliance, I was like, oh, that's gonna be, like, really interesting to watch. And it was just bad. The CGI line was bad. The whole plot was bad. It was just boring. I just didn't like it. So that was a 1 out of 5. And then we have Nope. This movie I didn't like. I'm not a big fan. Well, it has to take me, like, 2 watches to watch a movie, like Jordan Peele movies. So I think, like, that's my issue. But the thing is, it's just, Nope was really bad, honestly. Like Us, it was good the first time. It was just the characters got my nerves when I didn't like it. And then Get Out, it was just, like, those movies were, like, were already okay. I just had to, like, watch a second time to like it more than I did. But this movie, I just don't like it. I do guess I understand when he was trying to do, like, spectacles and, like, stuff, but it just wasn't a good movie. Personally, I didn't like it, but like, Jordan Peele has made, like, already 2 wonderful movies, so of course, like, he has to make a bad one. Well, then, But yeah, so that was another 1 out of 5. And then we have Grim Cuddy. This one's on Hulu. It's okay. It basically is kind of like the whole like Momo stuff. It's just a different name and like a different thing. But it is a little interesting. It was more of just more slow and everything. And I thought it was really cool. It does do a lot of like suicide. So please just, if you cannot watch that stuff, do not watch this. It was an okay movie. I think it was just slow and then kind of like silly and everything, but I do like what they did with it. But I give that a 2 out of 5. And then we have Mr. Harrigan's Film. So that was a 2.5 out of 5. And let me just explain something. This movie I thought was really good and everything. It's just my issue is it seemed more of like a coming of age story than a horror movie. Is what like the whole like my issue is. Like I didn't believe that there was like any horror in it. It just felt like it was just like a coming of age story. So that's why it's like so low in these movies. Just because I thought it was cool. I just wish we had more horror and stuff. But I do think it was really interesting. It's on Netflix. And then we had The Sleep Experiment. This movie is very weird. Look up trigger warnings please before you watch it. I thought this like sleep experiment has like criminals. I think that they go like 60 days without sleep. But the thing is like these are like tapes. But like then I guess it was like years ago. But then like it goes has like this like detective is like investigating what happened. I think it was really cool. I didn't feel like it was just 122 movie honestly. I thought it was made in like earlier years. Like it just didn't seem that new. But it was interesting. I think the ending did make for a lot of it. But that was a 2.5 out of 5. Then we have Door. So this movie is okay. I really was like hoping for like this is such a good movie. Like I was really like excited for it, but then I watched it. It was just kind of a letdown. It started like picking up in like the middle, and I was like, okay, like this movie is like starting to become good. And then the ending just ruined it for me. I just think what the director was trying to do, but I just didn't like that, and I wish he would have just made an ending without trying to like make like some type of message. I did see like all the characters very like monotone, but I did watch like that's how his movies are, and it's like a great movie. But the movie is okay, honestly. Like it was okay. It's really slow. I was expecting more horror, but that was a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Bodies. The game, like that, like they like play this like a game in the movie, and it seems like a really cool game. I'd like to play it. I think this movie is interesting. I want to watch it again, like knowing like the whole like movie and like I don't think they're trying to make the characters annoying. I think that's what like I didn't like it, but I want to like try and rewatch it, like knowing like oh like I don't know like I was just more annoyed at the characters. But I do think it was okay. The ending was kind of funny. But yeah, it's a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then we're on to the 6.5s. So this is Christmas, Bloody Christmas. This movie was just horrible. Like, I felt like it was like going good like in the beginning, and then it just like switched and it just got like really bad. And like the characters are making like really stupid like decisions. I'm not even kidding. Like one of these things is like a Santa that was like coming, and I kid you not, she was just sitting in the car doing nothing. So I was like screaming like get out of the car, like do something, and then she wasn't. It was just really annoying. But it was okay. The sex was annoying. I think it was like one scene, but it was also like when it was like the sex, and then it got split to like a killing scene, and then the sex wasn't like I was able to skip it. But yeah, it's on Shudder. It's 2 out of 5 stars. And then we have Escape the Field. This movie is okay. I like these escape room movies. I was a little confused on the ending, but I do like what they did with it. So this movie is just like these like strangers like wake up, and they find all like these objects. Like they like each wake up with an object, and then what happens is like the objects have like a greater purpose and like what their like original purpose is. I think it was really good. It just probably needed a higher budget to be better. I don't know. the ending was very weird, so I think there's gonna be a second one. But yeah. And then we have The Invitation. This movie is like a definition of like trailers show it too much. Like, I kid you not, I'm like not even kidding. Everything in this movie is in the trailer. Like, all like the major plot points, all like the major like everything, like all like the major stuff is in the freaking trailer. And like that's why I just waited for it to go on streaming, and it's on Netflix, and it just wasn't good. And now at this point, like, I wasn't gonna watch it, but I did because Thomas Dorothy is hot, so that's why I watched it, because he's hot. But like I feel like if you don't watch the trailer, you would like it. So if you haven't watched the trailer, watch the movie. But if you have, don't waste your time. It felt like I was watching some video on Letterboxd, and it was like, I felt like I was watching the trailer in slow motion, and that's what I did. Out of the entire movie, one thing wasn't in the trailer. Like, one thing, and I was just like, I don't even know, like, I guess like the epilogue thingy, but like that didn't make up for it. It was just so bad. It was more of a love story than a horror, but that was a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have No Exit. So this is on Hulu. This one was interesting. This woman, and I think like her mom is like dying, so she wants to like go and like help her mom. And it's like a snowstorm, so she goes to like this like hotel type place. No, it's like a diner. And then I guess it's like this girl who's like trapped in a car. So like she wants to help the girl, but at the same time she doesn't know like who it is. And it does like, so it has like 2 twists. It has like the first one in the beginning. And it's like, oh, actually like tell us who the killer is, like right in like the first like out like 20 minutes. But then like it's turned into another one. So I was like, good, like it just made it better. But that's a 3 out of 5 stars. And then we have all of these 7s. So we have End of the Road. This is on Netflix. It was okay. I sounded more interesting, and the trailer looked more scarier than it was. But it's about like these people, and they move, I think, from like California to Texas, and like I guess like something happens, like they steal something, I guess, or like they witness a murder. So of course like the people who did it are after them. It's okay. The characters are just really annoying at this point, and they're just making like really stupid decisions. So I just kind of got annoyed with them. But it's a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Halloween Ends. So I remember my whole like thing about it. But then listening to like other people's like reviews and like their reasonings, and like watching, like thinking about it, this movie was kind of like I understand people are mad. Like, Michael Myers was barely in his own movie. This would have been like a really good movie if it wasn't a Michael Myers movie. Or they could have made it and just not had Michael Myers in it at all. Like, I felt like for like the ending of a trilogy and like making like this big battle between Laurie and Michael, it wasn't that. And like, the entire fight scene is in the trailer. But it was just, it felt more like a love story. I felt like they could have finished off Halloween ends with like Michael Myers. And like Halloween Kills, they probably like add like 10 minutes and they could have finished it. And then they could have like made like another Halloween movie. And then brought it with Corey. And that was just a rip-off. Like, I understand people are mad. So that's a 3 out of 5. And then we have all these 7s. No, it's a lot. Well, 7.5s. And the only movie we have is The Menu. That is a 3 out of 5 star. This movie was okay. I wish we would have had more horror than comedy in it. The ending was kind of funny. I think it was really cool. I like Anya Taylor-Joy in it. Not the whole thing was interesting. I just wish there was like more horror in it. But I did like it. I watched it with my mom, and she hates horror movies, so she didn't really get like too much with it. But it was an interesting movie. I feel like the whole plot was good. I wish they could have done so much more to make it more scarier and to make it like, to like push the boundaries, but they didn't, so I'm kind of sad about that. It was okay. And then we have all the 8s. So we have Smile, and that's a 3 out of 5 stars. This movie was okay. It was really slow. I don't like how they did with the ending. it wasn't that scary, honestly. It kind of reminded me of like Truth or Dare, like the smile, I guess. I don't know. Like I just do a lot of suicides. Okay, just please be careful. Um, I don't know. I felt like I'm excited for like these new horrors, but then it's always just like they always try to give us a message. And sometimes I don't want to have like a lifelong life message. I just want it to be scary. And I feel like that's what they were trying to do in Smile. And I just feel like the ending just kind of ruined it for me. But yeah. And then we have Goodnight Mommy. This is the American remake. This movie was okay. I talked about it in... I don't even know what I talked about it in, honestly. But I talked about it in a thing. I wish there was more horror in it. I do think it was really, like, interesting. I think... I don't know, like... I like to see, like, all the differences and stuff, like, what they made. It is kind of sad. It was a good movie. I just wish, like... I wish they would have pushed the horror in it. Like, there were, like, some torture scenes with the mother, which I wouldn't have, like, which is kind of sad. At the same time, I wish they would have done it to make it just more, you know, whatever. And then we have Pearl, so that's a 3 out of 5. So, everyone loves this movie, and I can understand why. Like, Mia Goth is a wonderful actress. Like, I cannot wait for Maxine. But see, my thing is with horror movies, I don't want, like, a slow story. I just want, like, action, kills, deaths. Like, I don't really care for, like, the story, honestly. I just want the deaths. Like, that's why I love Terrifier so much, because it isn't really a story. It's just kills after kills. Because I like the action. I don't really care about it being slow. I do think Pearl was good. I want to give it, like, a second try. But I do think I'd love to see kind of, like, a sequel to Pearl. To see, like, how, like, the husband got into it or whatever. I'm kind of spoiling it. I'm sorry. But I really liked it. It was an interesting movie. It was just kind of slow. It did give me like Wizard of Oz vibes. But yeah. And then we have Choose or Die. And that's a 3.5 out of 5. So people are probably going to like hate me because I put that over Pearl. But I just liked Choose or Die more. Like, of course, it had like interesting deaths. Of course, the movie wasn't that good. It was kind of silly. I mean, it's Netflix. What do you expect? When I had like Robert Englund in his voice, I was like hoping like he'd have like he'd show, but I do think it was like really cool how it had him, and I felt like the whole concept of it was cool. I just thought like some parts were kind of silly. I did like it, and then we have Fall. So I think that movie was really good. Very like anxiety. Like, I don't like heights, so I already was like, oh, this movie's gonna be hard to watch. But it was just, for it to be like 2 girls stuck in like one place, it was pretty good. The twist, I guess people are like, oh, the twist was coming. I didn't expect it. I guess this might be spoilers, so like skip a little seconds. But I guess, which makes sense to people who like, this was made half the people who made 47 meters down. So they were like, that's how they knew it was a twist. But I still didn't get it. But yeah. But I thought it was a good movie. A lot of anxiety. It had Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I love him. It kind of had like 2 twists, kind of. But I liked it. It was a 3.5 out of 5. And then we have X. This movie was really good. I didn't like when I first watched it. Then I watched it again and I did like it. Jenna Ortega was amazing. She's become like one of my new favorite like horror actresses. I just thought the whole thing was cool. Of course, like, it's about like making a porn video, so of course it's gonna be like a lot of sex. I like the deaths. I like how Brittany Snow was in it. It was weird because I watched her in Would You Rather and Prom Night, so it's weird seeing her in like this type of movie. But I just thought it was so cool. And then we have Barbarian. That's a 3.5 out of 5. This movie was honestly pretty cool. It does like change like every like 30 minutes like the tone, and I like how they did that. Like, I would not have expected it to like go the way it did. I really like where it went and like everything that happened with it. Like, I was like really impressed and everything. Also, Bill Skarsgård was in it and he played Pennywise. So I thought it was a good movie, honestly. I don't think I'd buy it or watch it again. Maybe I'd watch it again. I probably like, wouldn't buy it. but it was an interesting movie. And then we have the Octo Games. This movie, don't expect like high budget, fantastic actors, but it's just so funny. And it's not funny, but it's for like these people, and they compete in like this contestant game, and like with this guy. And if you've seen like Funhouse, kind of like the same thing. But then like what happens is like once if they win, they get like his whole like, I think it's social media, so they get like his entire like fan base or whatever, and everything. So like it's like little kid games, like they play like hopscotch, hide and seek, stuff like that, but with like a sinister twitch, yeah, a sinister like twist, yeah. I just thought it was a really good movie. It was, of course, like the acting was not that good, but it was like really interesting, and of course like the ending does give up for like a second one, but yeah. And then we have Watcher. This movie is on Shudder. This movie was honestly really good. Don't get confused with this Netflix show, The Watcher. It's called Watcher, like this woman, and she's like moves to like Russia with her husband. So like, but then she ends up thinking like this guy is like stalking her from like her window and everything. So I think it's really interesting. It is like the like whole like barrier between like her not being able to like understand it, like what they're saying and stuff. I think it was a really good movie, and also like there is like a serial killer in it. So I just thought it was like such a wonderful movie. It was just really good, honestly. I like how they ended it. Now it's in 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Hellraiser. So I know people like didn't like this movie, but I did. But I wasn't a big fan of like the original because I didn't really care about the story. I just cared about the kills. And I really liked Hellraiser. I like what they did with like the puzzle box. I liked the whole like centipedes and then Pinhead. And everyone was like complaining about it being a girl, but like I didn't really care. It had Joey from Grand Army, and then it had Justin from 13 Reasons Why. I just thought it was really cool, and I would love to see another movie to go with it. I really liked it. That was a 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have Fresh. This movie was kind of forgotten about, like even I kind of forgot about it. This movie was just so good. Like I definitely would watch it again. It takes like a whole like turn. Like the first like 30 minutes make you think it's like a romantic comedy, and then it switches. And it's not like, they could have 100% made it way worse than they have. Like I feel like Criminal Minds is more dark and sinister than this movie was. But like they could have made it like way worse and they didn't. The ending did seem a little rushed, but this movie was just fabulous. And it didn't like a twist, but it had like a little like surprising factor in it. And I loved her friend. It's about like this woman, basically she just always goes on like these dates and she doesn't like the man. But then she just got a grocery store and they like kind of like fall in love and everything. And that's all I'm gonna say. I just love the friend. I love the movie. It was so good, honestly. It was just such a wonderful movie. It's on Hulu. Definitely watch it. And then we're at the 9s. So we have The Curse of Bridge Hollow, and this is a 4 out of 5. I'm pretty sure this is on Netflix. So if you have watched Stranger Things, it has Erica, and it kind of reminds me of like Hocus Pocus and like Friday Night at Freddy's or something like that. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my gosh. It's just like it's like moved to like a new town, and then they love Halloween, and like all the Halloween decorations come to life. It's more like a kid horror, but I just put it in my horror just because it was like kind of not scary, but I don't know. It just seemed more fun than anything other. But it's just really good. Dad gets on my nerves, but he gets better. But it was a 4 out of 5 stars. And then this movie, my next 2 movies are gonna be controversial. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought this movie was amazing. I thought the kills were cool. I like how he had like more like a story to it than like we know like why Leatherface is doing it. And like the characters were annoying. I love like the whole like bus scene with like the whole like if you make a movie you're gonna be cancelled. Stuff like that. It was just so funny. I do think if they reboot the series, maybe not a good way to go, but I'm like I really liked it and I'd love to see like a second one. Like for Netflix, like rebooting it, I'm not mad. But I also wasn't like a really big fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. So maybe that's what people are mad about. But that's a 4 out of 5 stars. And then the next one is Jeepers Creepers Were Born. I like this series. There's a lot of controversy because I like the director. I am able to separate the art from the artist and everything. It's just, I thought the whole movie was just good. I have a video about it. I don't know, the whole movie was good. I like how they talked about like other horror movies, and I don't think the Creeper looked as horrible as he did. And it says something about making like a trilogy, and I'm kind of excited for that. The CGI was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, but I did like everything, and I just thought it was a pretty good movie. So that's a 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have The Batman. So this movie, I was trying to think like if it was horror. Technically it's not, but then as I was like talking about my other like recap video, the reason I love this Batman so much, and the reason it's so high up, is because of the horror aspects. It's because it reminded me so much of Saw, and because of like the Riddler and how like he killed people like that. Like the horror aspects is why it's like a 9 out of 10 and why it has 4 out of 5 stars. So that's why it's on this one. I think it's so good. I haven't watched like all the other Batmans. I think Robert Pattinson did a great job. This movie is just, it's just amazing. I might really want to see a second one, but yeah. And we have The Black Phone. This movie was honestly really cool. You didn't know, which I think a lot of people do know, is that Stephen King's son is the one who made this movie. So it's really cool. I would love to see like a prequel and like why, like to like know like why the grabber is what he is, and like what like I would see a prequel. I thought Ethan Hawke was amazing. I'd love to see him more as a villain. I just thought it was really cool. Like the child actress who played the sister was amazing, and it was just really good. So that was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Orphan First Kill. This movie was honestly really good. So I just watched Orphan. Like I heard there was a second one, so I was like, oh, might as well watch the first one. So I like knew the twist in the first one, and that Orphan was a pretty good movie. But then they make a second one, and I was like, oh, and like wonder what they're gonna do, because we technically already know like the story behind it. But I like what they did. The ending was a little predictable, but I do like how they did put another twist in it. It's really cool like seeing like, cause of course Isabelle Fuhrman isn't 9 or 10 like she used to be, but she still has to make herself look younger. I would love for them to make another prequel, but like of how she got into the sanitarium place where she was. So this is called First Kill, but technically this isn't really her first kill. So I think I like how they figure out like how she became Esther and like how she was able to do that. But I would also like to make like a first kill and how she even got into the place she was at. But yeah. So I just thought it was a good movie. So it's a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Scream. Scream was just such a good movie. Of course, when the character's death was spoiled for me because, you know, people just can't wait can't wait before they do it, which I'm gonna go to full rant because I'm so tired of having to like stay off of TikTok or like having a way that it's gonna be spoiled for me because people are too selfish to put a spoiler warning. And yeah, it's like stupid, but at the same time it's like I don't have the time to go and watch the movie, especially like now that I have a job. Like I can't just go like a random day. Like I have to plan, has to be like a day I don't work, or I have to go like after work or something. Like I don't have the time to just go and watch like the first day it comes out. And I'm tired of them like spoiling stuff, because simple stuff, okay. But then when Halloween ends, they go and spoil like who is gonna die. And then like I know like I look and Screen, they're gonna like post like if like who died or if Tara died, they're gonna like post her. So it's really annoying. But yeah. I just think like the reboot was really cool. I feel like the hate for Samantha is like horrible. Like they act like she's some horrible like character and like the actress is so bad, but she's not. Like I don't have a problem with her. I thought it was really cool how they made like her like the daughter of Stu. It wasn't Stu. It was not Stu. Of the other guy. It's Stu and Billy. I mean like just daughter of Billy. I really liked her. I loved Tara. I just thought it was like such a good movie. And then my favorite movie 2022. If you didn't guess, and using, but my favorite movie, a 9.5 out of 10, like the only 9.5, Terrifier 2. This movie, so good. I wish I was able to see it in theaters, but I wasn't able to. There's a third one, so hopefully I will see that in theaters, but it's so good. I've seen it twice already. It is such a good movie. Like, I like how they were able to add a story to it, but not make it too bad. And like the math, like, Art is like become like one of like my favorite villains. Honestly, he's just so funny, and the fact that he doesn't talk, and he's just to like make me laugh. And, like the whole scene in the like Halloween store, like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have like the steelbook of it, and it is such a good movie, and I just love it. I'm really, they said like they have enough to make like a fourth movie, and I'm excited. But I'm also like kind of scared, like they don't want them like to ruin it. But the kills, of course, were extreme. I really liked the main girl, I forgot her name, Sienna. Her like outfit was really cool. It was just such a good movie, honestly. Like, very, very gory. It was amazing. My favorite movie 2022. It's easily like one of my top 10 favorite movies of all times. It was just such a good movie, honestly. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's a little bit long. That's why I made 2 separate videos, because I knew that it was going to be like very long. But yeah, I will see you guys next week.